Yo, welcome to the Blue Lounge. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are all doing well. I just remembered why Nick wasn't here for some time, because he has feedback on his mic, and now it's Couch as well. Big up to everyone. Welcome everyone to the channel, to the stream. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic evening. Look, we have news. We have information for you. I know you've seen what's on Twitter. I know you've seen what's being talked about by other YouTube channels. But I'm going to give you information from Al-Arabiya. Al-Arabiya. Who is Al-Arabiya, right? Well, it's a network that Mohammed Alkhereiji owns, or is the chairman on their board of directors. I'm going to give you information from what they have had to say, from their response to, well, I wouldn't say their response to this, but what they've actually said in regards to their ambition and investments for the future. I'm going to give you a bit of background about them, and I'm going to give you what we've talked about, what we've seen currently in the mainstream media, the British media. But I think I'm going to be giving you an insight to what the Arab media has also been talking about, because as the investors are from Saudi Arabia, it'll be interesting to understand what they are talking about and what their media sources are talking about. And I'm going to be giving you that on this stream shortly. The Middle East, or the Saudi, I keep calling it the Middle East, the Saudi media group is a massive organization, people. It's a massive, massive organization worth a ton of money. And them coming to invest, them coming to buy Chelsea Football Club will bring a lot of opportunities to Chelsea Football Club. Are they independent, or do they have ties to the government? We'll be talking about that. Do they have the 1.3 trillion pounds that people are talking about? We'll be talking about that in a minute as well. What is their position in respect to what they are looking to do for the future? And I'm talking about the Saudi media group. I'm going to be telling you that on the stream as well. Before we get into all of that, I'm going to put the link in the chat. As always, I want to get as many of you people, good people, interacting with our streams. So here is the link for anyone who is interested in taking part with us live in the show. The link is in the chat, and it's also pinned in the chat. So anybody who wants to jump in, you're welcome to do so. You are welcome to do so. Now, let me address some of the champions in the chat. We've got George, welcome to you. Samuel, welcome. Wally, welcome. The Joker 26, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the conversation. Who else? Have I missed anyone? Abdul B, good to see you. Fazor, good to see you. Look, I don't follow Grimes, but I will check on what she's saying in due course. Daniel Crane, big up to you. Big up to everyone. Wissam, Football Styles. Listen, this man is from Saudi Arabia, so he knows all the stories, man. Hi, what's he saying? Wissam is saying, hi, Mo, big up to you. I want to tell you guys, like Younes, MAH, and people that my country have changed on human rights, and you guys have to look at the reality, not the fake news. Wissam, Habibi, thank you for this comment. Thank you for this comment, because a lot of people I've seen today on social media talking about things they have no idea about. Talking about things they have no understanding about. If you are going to judge a society or a culture by your standards, then be expected to be judged by their standards. In UK, we don't have the death penalty. In America, they do. Does that make us righteous and right and them wrong? We can't be putting these kind of measurements on other societies. If you want to go back and look at the religious text and use that as your yardstick, both societies will be different. The way Saudi Arabia handles its criminal justice system is different. It's different. Whether we agree or disagree here in the West, we have to understand that every country has its own ways of implementing punishment by their standards. They have a law and a system that is followed by 1.6 billion people on this planet. Whether they agree or disagree with the system, with the law, it's different because we have a different structure for implementing Islamic judgment. And a lot of people, it will take me hours to explain to you how it works. But for a person to jump to conclusions and to make judgment based on a tweet or a bit of a headline without actually knowing exactly what the process is, don't. You just look stupid. You'll just look stupid. Like I said, different societies, different cultures, different systems. If you want to address politics, if you want to address geopolitics and address human rights, no issues there, because that is a different standard. That is a different issue. Anyway, Wissam, thank you for your comment. Thanks to everyone who has just jumped into the stream. Much love, much respect. Let me address my panelists and say hello to the Couch Critic. It's been a minute, brother. How are you? I know you got some family engagements, which hasn't allowed you to be as active on the Blue Lounge, but I hope everything is going well with you. You're on mute, Couch. I think you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry about that. You muted me, man. I was off mute before.
I did. I was getting feedback in the background.
Let me cook here, man. No, everything's good. Big up to the panelists as well and everyone in the chat. Just trying to keep things moving. It's a busy time of year for me.
Welcome. Nick Blue, good to have you back on the stream. I hope you're doing good.
Yeah, good, Mo. Good to be back. If my Wi-Fi goes berserk, just throw me out. There's no problem. Yeah. Big up to Chris and Couch, and to everyone in the channel.
Big up, Nick. Welcome to the stream. Chris, always a pleasure to see you on my stream. How you doing, brother?
Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, it's an absolute pleasure to be back on the Blue Lounge. Big up Nick, big up Couch, big up Mo, and big up the chat. Great news. Come on, man. Let's go. Come on.
Great news. We'll have to wait and see, how it's going to pan out, because end of the day, the person, look, end of the day, Roman Abramovic is the one who's going to okay the deal. But the person who actually is going to oversee this deal and allow it to go through and handle the money is none other than Boris Johnson himself, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. He is the one who will ultimately be the one in charge of the transaction. So will he allow a Saudi bid to be successful? I don't know. But apparently he's on his way to Saudi Arabia for a couple of days anyway. So, it looked a little bit off if he was to come back and say, no, we're not doing this. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, look, guys, like I promised, I want to show you some articles. Now, these articles, I could have translated them into English for you, but it would have been a little bit difficult with the time that I've had. And if I use Google Translate, it wouldn't be. It's not accurate enough for you to see. But I want to show you something. This is an article by Al Arabiya. All right, one of the biggest channels in the Middle East, and it falls under the Saudi media group. It is one of their channels. Now, this is an article, but they also have a very popular broadcast that, it's a news channel. It's the equivalent of, let's say, CNN, but in the Arabic world. Now, they've talked here about Mohammed Alkhereiji. Mohammed Alkhereiji is the chairman of the board of directors for this organization. So he is their boss, basically. He is their boss. Now, they've actually called him here Al-Ra'is Al-Tanfidhi Lil-Arabiya. Okay, which means he is the head of operations for Al-Arabiya, this particular channel. And it talks about, and I should have started by saying this. This report was published 6 days ago. This report was published 6 days ago. It was published on the 8th. And it talks about the mission statement for Alkhereiji for the near future. And it talks about their lack of profit for 2019 and how things have been turned around for 2021, and the company is looking to invest, and the investment that they're looking to do is split 60-40. They want to invest 40% within Saudi Arabia and 60% outside of Saudi Arabia. Their future investments, they want to split it 60-40. So 60% of their future investments, they want to make that outside of Saudi Arabia and in different avenues to generate income for the organization. Okay, now they are looking to do this 60% this year. They want to expand that to 80% by 2023. So by next year, they want to invest even more, and they want to keep on investing, and they want to keep on spending or putting their money in investments outside of the country. In this report, it does not mention Chelsea Football Club. In this report, it does not mention anything to do with Chelsea Football Club, and this was 6 days ago. Now, there hasn't been much talk about investment by this group in the Arab media. There hasn't been much talk about it. Up until last night and today, I have started to see, and when I say there hasn't been much talk, I'm talking about like reputable sources. There's been people, quoting César Azpilicueta, quoting goal and whatnot, but there hasn't been anything apart from that in Arab media up until, I say, last night and today. There is a report here by, just bring it up for you guys, give me a second. It is based on CBS Arabia. It's based on CBS Arabia, and just give me 1 second, people. Okay, here it is. And this report is from today. And this report talks about a bid being made for $3.5 billion for the purchase of Chelsea Football Club. And it goes into details about who this guy is, what their ambitions are, and how they want to advance in their purchase of Chelsea Football Club. Sorry, there's a lot of ads on this page. But like I said, the point I'm trying to make by showing you this is, up until yesterday, there was nothing being talked about in the Arab world in respect to Mohammed Alkhereiji and in respect to the media group buying Chelsea Football Club. As of this morning, that's all changed. And the figure that has been mentioned is $3.5 billion US dollars. That is where we are in respect to the bid. That bid is on the table. That bid is accurate. That bid is confirmed. And that bid matches a lot of what has been offered. And in some areas, it goes beyond what has been offered by the other consortiums. I mean, one of the key selling points of Nick Candy was that he would put a fan on the board of directors. A fan will be buying the club. So him and Mohamed Alkhereiji and Nick Candy both have the same aspirations for Chelsea Football Club. So that is where we are. What is Jem here saying? Jem, that might have been squashed from what I'm hearing now regarding Saudi media group. Apparently, it's a long way from being a deal. Jem, I'm telling you what I'm reading in the Arab world, in the Arab journalists and their media. Now, if there is things that have come out since me doing this research and getting these articles, I'm going to have to say, we'll wait and see, because this is a developing story. And this is what I've read and seen in the Arab world. Now, in regards to the other question, is this organization owned or has any ties to Saudi Arabia as a government, as a country? Now, I've read reports that suggest that the Saudi Arabian government actually owns 60% of this group. The Saudi Arabian government owns 60% of this group. However, they are a silent partner in this enterprise. The owner of the 40%, who is not Mohamed Alkhereiji, he has the onus to run the organization. So he makes all the decisions when it comes to running the organization. But that organization is partly backed or owned by the Saudi government. Now, could this bid be going through a different system whereby it is not being done as a transaction for the media group through its owner, but through some of the people involved in that media group? If that is the case, then we don't have access to that $1.3 trillion that has been talked about. If that is the case, we have access to $10.9 billion, which is the net value of the owner of the media group, and that's not Mohamed Alkhereiji. Mohamed Alkhereiji's net value is, I think, $2.5 billion, while as the actual owner's value is 10.9. Still big numbers, still a lot of money. So who is exactly buying Chelsea Football Club? Is it a consortium of various individuals from the Saudi media group? Is it the Saudi media group as an entity? Is it a number of individuals? That is still unclear. And I don't think it will be clear up until the bid is actually accepted and the details are revealed. That is where we are in respect to this situation. Let me welcome Burton Ballers to the stream. Max Burton, I hope you're doing good.
Yeah, hi guys. You just caught me eating something. So, yeah.
My apologies.
I'm good. I'm sweet. I'm sweet like Nick Candy.
You're sweet like Nick Candy. All right, guys, I'm going to open the discussion to everyone. What are your thoughts on what I've just said, what you guys have heard in respect to the Saudi media group and their ambition to acquire Chelsea Football Club? Let me hear your thoughts and opinions, lads.
The ambition. This is what I said last night, Mo, when you said about who I would like to see in as new owners. This is one of the big points. I would like to see ambition. I want to see someone coming in and want to push the club into winning. That's what I said last night. I wanted to see the club, the potential we want to have ambition. And from what you've said, Mo, from what I've read on Twitter, he's very ambitious and he wants to push on, which is very good news. In terms of people, I see the British journalists saying it's a long way off. Of course they're going to say that. But for me, I don't know, mate. I think this could be the one. But of course, the deadline's on Friday. There's so many parties interested. So, you know what? It could potentially be someone we don't even know, someone that's not even mentioned. So, but overall, mate, yeah, I'm very, very happy with the ambition shown. Nick Candy, he's a candidate, mate, but I don't know if Nick Candy will be the next owner. I don't know, but yeah. But overall, mate, this is what I want to see. I want to see owners coming in with ambition to push Chelsea upwards and onwards.
Yeah, I agree. And there's one thing I just forgot to mention, and I just seen Courtney's comment. Lads, I do apologise for streaming later than usual. Normally I would stream at 7 p.m, but because of personal reasons, I had to delay tonight's stream. I wasn't even intending to stream tonight, to be honest, but with this news, I thought I'll stream even if it's a little bit late. So I do apologise for the late stream. I have someone jumping on by the name of J Vision. J Vision, hello, welcome to the stream. Tell us where you're from and give me your thoughts and opinions, mate.
Oh, just like that, he's gone. Okay.
Oh, no, all right. Who wants to take? Yeah, go on, Max.
Yeah. So obviously this news came out today. It didn't come out today. It came out a few days ago. Props to Nizar Cancelo, by the way, because he's mentioned this a few days ago, and obviously the official bids have gone in. So I've done some research on these guys, and I like the vision what they've got for the club. You know, the fact that they are willing to invest in the new stadium, and the other good thing I like is the fact that the investment side of it. Because if you look at Man City, they've overtaken us on that investments front, and so the thing is, if something happens and they go and they leave, we need to be self-sufficient. Having a 60,000 stadium, having the great merchandise deals and sponsorship deals will be a long way to taking us to be self-sufficient and not having to rely on any single owner. Although I am kind of excited by this, I think somehow the government are just going to stop this from happening. I just got a feeling because this is that they won't allow this to happen because you got Gary Neville already making up noise about fit and proper.
They can't, Max. The problem is they could, in theory, they could had they have not agreed the Newcastle deal. Because you see, the issue is this. Where do you draw that line? Where do you set your standard? Where do you put your look? If you do this, we're not allowing you to do this. Where do you draw that?
That's what I was going to say. Actually, if they did try to stop this from happening, then we've got a big case here. Because if they do that, then Newcastle's owners have to leave as well because there'll be double standards here. And I heard some nonsense today as well by some people saying, "Oh, because Saudis already own a club in." Ooh, who's that? Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, because I've heard some nonsense saying, because the Saudi owners in England already, so they wouldn't have another Saudi owner. But how many American owners have we got at the moment? We've got so many different American owners, so that's such a stupid analogy to make. And so they said there's no ties with the government. I don't know how true that is, but it's not the government so much. It's probably the FA, the Premier League, with the fit and proper persons test, which goes on. Maybe they may say, you know what, there's a lot of noise around what's going on at the minute. They may find a way of not letting us get through that fit and proper persons test. They'll dig up some lies or nonsense about it to prevent the move from going through. But as someone said earlier,
I want to just add to this the rights to broadcast some of the fixtures, some of the UEFA and FIFA fixtures are owned by this company. You have the in the Middle East. You have two main consortiums. You have Al Jazeera, which own beIN Sports, and then you have NBC, which own Al Arabiya Sports. I think there's another franchise, but there are other channels that have been given the rights to broadcast. So should they decide to stop this group from buying a club, it would have repercussions. It would have ramifications.
Yeah, money talks at the end of the day, doesn't it?
Money talks,
especially
money
with
talks.
the Premier League. So they know money's coming in. That's all that's happened. And Courtney, I'm not being negative. I'm just putting I'm just being a realist. And I want it to go through, but I'm just thinking of pitfalls that may come along. Because we already seen a resistance against Chelsea at the moment. And you just could see the media, because some media are talking negatively about this already, and. You know what it's like when there's a lot of noise around. The Premier League may want to be seen as not wanting to rock any boats or whatever, so they know that's why. But as I said, I'm not being negative. I want this deal to go through. Out of all the deals which have, all the proposals which have come in, this one definitely for me looks the most promising. And so this is the one I'm vouching for.
I want to just add here, beIN Sports are Qatari, not Saudi. Qatari, not Saudi. Just to clarify.
Yeah, that was where the issues were, wasn't it, with the Newcastle one? Because some people said it may take long, but it was more to do with the piracy deal, and beIN may put a complaint in, and that's why it took so long. So with this one now, it may not take as long, and because obviously we need to get a deal done sooner rather than later. The Premier League are probably doing their due. Hopefully, what they should be doing is doing their due diligence on this Saudi, because they might. I think all the deals coming through to reign. Hopefully, the Premier League will have know who these people are who are thinking about buying Chelsea, and doing their due diligence on some of them already, just to see whether they are, because there's no point in someone's expressing an interest and then the Premier League find out not fit for purpose, because it's in the government's interest and the Premier League's interest to get this deal sorted out as soon as possible.
Just to clarify one thing, the bid has been submitted. I'm trying to. Where's that? Here we go. The bid has been submitted. 2.7 billion by a few sources that it has been submitted. Now I'm gonna assume this is an initial bid or a final bid. I'm not sure, because these bids are being taken from multiple different bidders. So is it an auction style where they announce the highest bid, and then is anyone going to increase on that or not? I'm not sure, but from what I understand, a $3.5 million bid has been submitted. And one more thing, the report that I showed you earlier from Al Arabiya is a key indicator that Al Arabiya, the Saudi media group have been looking for opportunities to invest outside of the country since the beginning of 2021. And an opportunity like this is ideal for them as a corporation, as an organization, as a marketing tool. For them to own such a prestigious football club will definitely add a lot to the organization as well as to the club itself. I'm surprised to see Couch so quiet today. I don't know what. Let me shine the light on Couch Critic and ask him for his thoughts on this particular aspect. The bidders. What is your expectations moving forward, there, Couch? Do you think this will be the final choice for Roman Abramovich and Boris Johnson, or do you think there may be a twist in the tail before Friday? And you're on mute, Couch.
Sorry, I keep putting myself on mute. But I've been texting with Jem actually in the background. I've just been saying that, I don't necessarily believe that the loudest bids are going to be the ones that come to the, end up at the final table. I just think that a lot of this noise that we're hearing right now probably won't amount to much. It's just journalists really struggling to find any nugget of information to put out there. And most of this information has been recycled over and over and over and over again. We've heard about Boli's bid. We've heard about, the media group's interest as well. And, I don't know what new information has been put in on it. So I'm just looking at it like this. I'm saying a lot of what we're hearing right now is recycled information. And what my belief is that the bids that will be accepted, the ones that we will finally get ownership from, are going to be the ones that we don't even hear from. I'm sticking with that. As far as ownership goes, I don't care where the owner's from. And you guys know that I've been saying that from time. I don't care where he's from. He can be from Antarctica. It's about the person, not the individual, where they're from. Like, it's not, oh, well, he's American, so he can't buy Chelsea because look what's his face is doing with Arsenal. And individuals are completely different from countries. All right, I'm from Canada. I can guarantee you, if I bought Chelsea, I wouldn't be running it like Kroenke, right? So there would be no franchise thing. So you just got to look at individuals and not look at where their origin is. Because if we're dealing with origins, then we can also say that the Saudi consortium could be just as vilified as anywhere else. It's just, I'm looking at individuals, and that's where my stance is. And I think that's important when we're considering bids as well.
Yeah, no, interesting. Is it Smoke? Are you there? I'm seeing a Matrix background. What's going on, man?
Yes, I am here, man. I'm just playing some games. But I'm so happy, man, that Chelsea are going to get new ownership. Unfortunately, the Abramovic era has to end due to around the world. But I do believe that Chelsea will bounce back from where they are. From the past 20 years, it came a long way for the Chelsea supporters and stuff like that. So in terms of who's going to buy the club, even if it's Saudi Arabia, they'll splash out huge cash for Chelsea, and you'll get the best players like Haaland, Mbappe. And it's no stress for the Chelsea new owners. If Arabians do take over, it'll be a fantastic deal going into the next 5 years from now. So what's your take on it, guys?
Easy. As a Liverpool fan, Chelsea are, with their current situation, they're on your heels. If this happens, if these Saudis do buy Chelsea and they do invest the money that you're talking about and buy the players that you've mentioned, as a Liverpool fan, what is that gonna? What is the impact that it's gonna have on you guys, on the Premier League? Do you think the Premier League is ready for a superpower like Chelsea with the Saudi backing?
Well, to be honest with you, it will be Newcastle, it will be y'all, and Man City. So it will be quite interesting.
Newcastle, listen. Newcastle will not even be in the conversation anymore because they have so much work to get done before they can get to where Chelsea are at today. And if Chelsea are going to be injected with this amount of capital at this point in time from where they are, world champions, European champions, Newcastle can just forget about it, man. Seriously.
Okay, cool, man. Let's forget about Newcastle. But
that was easy. Go on.
But in terms of you're getting money and stuff, I do believe that you will. And if you all do get the deal, it'll be a fantastic deal coming into the Premier League. So we have that spending power, and you'll give Man City more of a show. So in terms of Liverpool, I do say that it will be a bit bad for us, knowing that our owners, they don't like to cough up money and stuff like that. So it will be a bit of a shambles for Liverpool Football Club. But I do believe that once Klopp leaves Liverpool, Steven Gerrard will take place, and he will come.
Smokes, I'm having problems hearing you. Can you reset your connection? Can you go out and come back in again, please? Let me go to Nick Blue. Easy Smokes, if you're hearing me, just bounce out and come back in again, and we'll reset the connection because there was an audio problem. Nick Blue, what's your thoughts on this, brother?
Yeah. Hi, chaps, everyone. Yeah,
Welcome.
yeah. I'm very feeling better. How I say, I'm very confident with this Saudi Arabia group now. After hearing a lot of things from you, from a lot of other people as well. You know, nothing's for sure, as we know. There's 200 people out there all wanting to buy Chelsea. 100 groups, whatever, there's a lot of people, maybe more. But, what I hear from the Saudi Arabian group and what they want to do is very, pleasing. It'd be good for us, and we need something quick. And they haven't made a genuine bid, like we all know. So now it's up to the government and Roman to accept it. Yeah, and talking about the government and the Premier League is a thing. The Premier League wanted to be the biggest league in the world. So they started bringing in all these billionaires to make the Premier League the biggest and the best, which it is. But like Pat Nevin said, I would do without all these billionaires and go back as it was. And we won't be the best league in the world. But, let Italy be the biggest, or Spain, or whatever. You can't have it both ways. Either you back all the billionaires, or you don't. You can't just back one and leave the other. That's a big thing. I heard a lot from Pat Nevin today as well, talking. And, and I agree with him every bit. I'll be happy to go back to the first division setup as it was when we had, owners like Ken Bates and all the rest of them,
Nick, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet, mate. We're not there.
We do that, but the Premier League can't go against, anyone because they want to be the biggest, so we have to have the biggest. If they're going to, they're back in Newcastle, they have to do the same with us. You can't have it, like you said, both that way or this way. So, and look, Johnson's in Saudi Arabia, probably buying weapons, selling weapons to whoever. And, I'll be happy for this lot to take over. But, we're going to hear a lot.
They're not. Yeah, Saudi Arabia, they're not selling. They're buying. They're buying.
Who?
The Saudis, they're buying the weapons, they're using them. They're not selling them, they're using them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Boris Johnson is gone there to buy, to sell. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, I'll be happy with them. Now, what we'll hear, they want to go to the next level. And if Abramovic sees, he knows more than all of us, he's going to see, if they can take Chelsea to the next level and win the championship.
Nick, before I go and talk to Tyrone, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
And this is based on a comment I just seen here from Kate. Kate says, "I just pray that Marina will stay and guide us and guide the new owners forward." Do you think that we will see anyone from the old setup really stay in regards to the board members and whatnot? I mean, I can understand, directors and coaches and coaching, management staff, but I can't understand, or I don't think directors will be allowed to stay. What was your take on this?
Yeah, it depends on these new owners. Yeah, me personally, I love Marina to stay, Petr Cech to stay, of course. We want them to stay.
No. Loving them to stay is one thing, expecting them to stay is another one.
Like with all new regimes, they're going to have their own directors.
Hold on. Max, what was that?
I said Bobby wants Marina to stay.
Hey, listen. Bobby is a massive fan of Marina Granovkaia. Bobby, I know you're at work. And I know you're probably watching this. So I want you to come here and represent the Marina Granovkaia fan base. So yeah. Come on in, come on in.
Mind you, she did say, I did read a report somewhere where she said she's prepared to stay to help.
Well, obviously she is, man.
No, just to help the new board to settle in.
But,
yeah.
You never know. I hope that happens. Now, I don't care about Bruce Buck and the rest of them, but Marina and Petr Cech, We want them to stay if possible, but it's not up to us, So, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do. If these owners, the new owners, keep them on because they're very good at their jobs. So, let's see. Yeah.
Well, they are very good at their jobs. They've brought in a lot of trophies over the past years, so they have made some howlers, but generally they've been pretty good. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone, welcome to the stream. How are you? How you doing?
It's pretty weird.
Tyrone?
It's pretty weird.
What is?
The disrespect I'm hearing Newcastle gets and the references.
Who?
Newcastle.
How they?
Oh no! It wasn't disrespect. It was being rational and logical. Newcastle today are a bottom relegation battlers right now.
They're
For
not,
them
man.
to-
They're points
they're
ahead
not-
of it, man. I don't think that's spiriting to say to them.
No. Newcastle today, they are not in the same category. They're not in the same sentence. They're not in the same book as Chelsea Football Club. Now, if we are talking about Newcastle in 10 years from now, that's a different team. But at the same time, Chelsea today, in 10 years from now, will be even a bigger and a more better team if they are getting that investment coming in. So if I'm running a race with you and I'm already 10 miles ahead of you, and and then you're going to get a boost and you're going to try to catch up to me, and I'm going to get a boost, we're still going to be 10 miles apart. You get me? So that's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not saying Newcastle will never be a good team. I'm saying you can't compare Chelsea to Newcastle.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about that, though. I was talking about the other factor about the selling and the buying, and then I'm not talking that particularly. I'm talking about the part about they have this owner and they're supposed the government needs to, if the government did this and they did that, and they should be able to do it for Chelsea. There's a lot of factors are surrounded around that. It wasn't like they just came in and it hit the media as if they came in and then they wanted to buy the club. It was something that took years. So I was talking about that part, and I know
I'm glad, Taiwan. I'm so happy that all the legwork has already been done to make it easier transition for Chelsea Football Club, because you don't have to go back and do the same due diligence that they had to do for Newcastle, because it's already been done. I mean, if you are allowing the head of the snake to be a part of this, there's nothing you can say about this consortium. There's nothing you can say about this consortium. Yeah. If you're allowing the Crown Prince and his what is it? PIF, is it? Yeah. PIF, his public investment fund. If you're allowing that to own a club, fine. If that's your standard, that's your standard. It's not mine. It's your standard. So who am I to complain? I'm just a little guy. I'm just a fan that will buy a ticket and go and take the space of one seat in the ground. You know what I mean? That's how big my position is within Chelsea Football Club. One seat in the football pitch, in the football ground. All right. So why don't people what?
Why don't people let Mourinho? I'm seeing people say that they can leave. I don't understand. It's pretty unfair to them. They're the most common one. They're the ones that are popular, but they're not the only people who make up the board. There's a lot of factors surrounding certain players. So people are saying that they signed this player, but it's a joint decision. It's not like Mourinho says this and this is people don't appreciate what Mourinho does. Yes, she's done a lot of things that are questionable, but she's not the only person that makes up the board.
I've got to disagree with you there, mate. No. We do appreciate what she's done. Look. She's
not you guys. I'm talking to people in the chat.
No. We do appreciate that. We do appreciate
listen, leave the people in the chat alone and talk to us. Talk to us. If you want to talk to the people in the chat, go in the chat, man. Talk to us. Talk to us. Sorry?
Let me move it back to the private chat. I was looking at the comments. I'm going to put it to the private chat on StreamYard.
Okay. Tyrone, I'd rather talk to you here in the on the panel. So give me your expectations.
No, I was saying that on StreamYard, remember you have two options, private chat and comments. So I'm saying I'm going to switch it back to the private chat area and not the comments.
Oh, so you only see the private chat, not okay.
Sure. If you want to
Yeah.
have a private conversation with Chris, you can go ahead. But since you're here on my panel, taking up a slot on my screen, talk to me. So tell me your expectations.
No, I think what you're saying is he doesn't want to see the comments.
Yeah.
So
So I'm moving it back to the private chat area where the only comment I'm going to be seeing is what coach said.
Right. Okay, I get you. Yeah, do what makes you feel good, mate. Do what makes you feel good and makes you feel happy. But talk to me. Let me know. I want to know what Tyrone is thinking right now about the future of his beloved Chelsea. So let me hear it from you, Tyrone.
It's obviously it's there's a lot. There'll always be some sadness. There'll always be a lot of gratitude to what the past owner did for the club for the nearly 2 decades. So that's going you're going to always have that sentiment. But I'm hoping that one positive that will come out of all of this is that the club, the legacy, the fundamentals that have been built into this club is not shifted away, and whoever comes in, they don't well, obviously they'll have their own ideas, they'll come with their own ways of doing things, but I'm just hoping that the legacy that has been built here, the dynamics of investing in the club, trying to do what is necessary to ensure that the club stays in the category of competing for titles domestically. I think that that's something that should be important. And I think people will always have their concerns about who will the government choose, who will it be, because people say that with Roman it would be a case where he's going to be looking to see that the club goes into good hands, somebody who will actually invest in the club, care about the club, and not be at the club only to say that I am the owner of Chelsea Football Club, and that they'll be investing. But I think with the reports doesn't tell the full story. And like Coach was saying before, obviously people were saying that we will always see reports about these ones who are not, quite active, or they don't really care. Not care is not the right word to use. They don't really, have that shared passion of wanting to do it. Obviously, this Saudi media situation, it seems like it's different because the person leading it is a Chelsea fan, and I mean it also brings that that particular difference, because it means that you'll have somebody who has some connection to the fans. Obviously, there are other people like Nick Candy as well who said it for himself that he doesn't care about it. He doesn't care about which hands it goes in as long as it's the good hands. So I think
Correct.
there's a lot of care, and I think everything that's been done right now, the people that are reportedly interested, it really just shows how far Chelsea have come, because there's I think 10 different individuals that are interested in buying the club. So it's important to look at that, to say that the club has come a far way and it's really attractive, even though there's a lot of people who are concerned about will we be able to get somebody who will care.
All right. I'm gonna address. One second. Wait for your turn. I'm gonna address some of the comments in regards to the journalists and the way they're reporting this, because I'm seeing people talking about Matt Law and Nazar Cancelo, and I want to address this in a second. Let me hear from Abdullah. Abdullah, welcome to the stream. Give me your thoughts on this topic, my man. Tell me where you're from and get your thoughts on this topic. Abdullah? All right. Shy. Surprising, but he's shy. All right. Let me hear your thoughts, Max, in respect to why is Matt Law so adamant that there is very little in respect to this particular story. I mean, I've done my digging, and I'm not a journalist, but I found a ton, and I'm not a journalist, and I've connected some dots. Maybe I've exaggerated a few things because of my my background, maybe. But why is he so adamant that this isn't happening? And why is Nazar Cancela so adamant that it is happening? And where is this conflict?
You know what? I think Matt Law. I think Todd Boehly has hired Matt Law as his PR agent because he's twerking this guy all along. He's every single comment he's made. He's mentioned the word Todd Boehly. That's the only thing I'm hearing him talk. The only person I'm hearing him talk about. Maybe it's because he's been pushing this guy from the beginning. He doesn't want to look silly by promoting somebody else. And so that's the only thing I can think of, really, because it'll be interesting to see. It's a battle of because both of them report for Chelsea, don't they? Nizar and Matt both are Chelsea reporters, so it'll be interesting to see which one of them is accurate on this story. But yeah, I don't know why he seems to be dismissing the Saudi links. Maybe it's because again. It's a political thing, isn't it? Where we don't want to be 10 years down the line. There's something wrong with what's happening in Saudi Arabia, and then we got to go down this route again. And America's the safer option. Although I don't think American money's clean as well. It depends what you mean. If you're from the West or whatever, but that's another story. Argument for another day. But as I said, I just think he's just on team Todd Boehly.
He said I don't have an agenda. He said I don't have an agenda, but I think he might have a small one, tiny, not a big one, just a tiny one. So we'll examine it. Nick, I'm gonna let you come in. I just want to see if Abdullah can hear me. Abdullah, can you hear me? Abdullah, تسمعني؟ تفضل تكلم. Abdullah.
Has he got his mic on?
I don't know. I spoke to him in Arabic and in English, and listen, guys. I've had a few Arabs come on my stream, and they leave as soon as I introduce them. Okay, Shabab, أخوكم عربي. Okay, أخوكم عربي. You want to come here? You can speak in Arabic or in English. I will respond to you. All right. So if you want to speak in Arabic, you want to speak in English, I'll respond. I'll even translate what you have to say. So let's hear your opinions. This platform is open for you, Arabs or English speakers. You know what I mean? I can't speak. I mean, if Boogeyman was here and he wants to speak a different language, and I've got a few translators around, but predominantly Arabic and English. I've got another guy coming on, CFC Matty. Let's see what CFC Matty has to say. CFC Matty, welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good day. Give me your thoughts and opinions, but start by introducing yourself. What are you talking to us for? CFC Matty.
Not heard of me. Yeah.
So you were breaking up. Can you start again, please?
Yeah, sure. Probably a lot of people know me from Football Terrace. I've also been on Jem's channel as well. I've been on actually Andreas has actually passed me on this channel, so it's good to be on the channel.
Fantastic. So, welcome. And just on that note, people, Andreas is currently suffering from COVID, and I've been speaking to him. He is on the mend. I'd like you all to keep him in your thoughts and your prayers, and hopefully he can make a quick recovery. Matty, my brother, tell me what your thoughts are and opinions about this particular topic.
So the one question I want to ask is: the sale still with Roman Abramovich? Does he have the final say, or does it go down to the merchant? And they have obviously a list of demands. They obviously have a few different other things that they have to go through. Or is it still in Roman's hands? And if it is in Roman's hands, what's the likelihood that they're going to accept either Todd Boehly's bid or the Saudi Arabia's bid? Because obviously the bid's gone in at $2 billion for Todd Boehly, and the Saudi bid, as you've cleared up and told us today, is $2.7 billion. So where do you think it's going to be? Do you think that the merchant bank is going to accept the highest bid, or is it going to go straight to the government?
Fantastic question, Matt. Fantastic question. Look, it will be as follows, as far as I'm aware. And again, I don't have all the information, so I could be mistaken. But from my understanding, there is a set of criteria. sorry guys, just make sure your mics are on mute when you're not talking. There is a set of criteria that has been given to the bank, Rain, the Bank of Rain, or the group of Rain. They have been given a set of criteria as per Roman Abramovich. In regards to the bid, in regards to what they are wanting, what they are looking for from the potential bidder. This will be applied to all the bids that are coming through, and then they will come to a short list of bids which will be examined by the seller, being Roman, and then he would pick his preferred option. Now, when it comes to the actual transaction itself, that is overseen by the British government. The British government are the ones that deal the transaction, that take that carry out in respect to the exchange of funds, and they will be the ones handing the keys to the club on behalf of Roman Abramovich. Roman Abramovich, his relationship to the deal ends once he agrees to sell the club to a particular buyer. Now, in respect to who that buyer is, from my judgment, again, and I could be wrong here, the financial aspect is not as relevant as the offer that is put forward in respect to the mission statement, the plan of action moving forward for Chelsea Football Club. We know Roman Abramovich, at the end of the day, he is not receiving any funds from this deal. Therefore, he wants to continue a legacy. He wants to continue a successful club, because if he is walking away without a penny, then he would want to leave the club in hands that will be able to run it sufficiently. So this, I think, would play a factor. Now, in respect to the 2.7 or the 2 billion, I don't think it really makes a big difference in the financial term. I think the plan of action would probably win closer to home for Roman Abramovich than the actual 0.7 billion. So that's how I see it. And again, I could be wrong.
I mean, to be fair, the one thing I will say is that there is a lot of people that are suggesting the Matt Law and the different type of officiates with different nations and stuff, saying that they want an American owner. I wouldn't read too much into it if I were you. It's, Matt Law has been credible before now, and it's, not every journalist has got things right. Even Fabrizio Romano's had his day where he hasn't got anything right. So, so the one thing I will say in the chat for you guys is that nobody is completely infallible. So just be careful.
Matty, thank you very much. Spot on. Fabrizio Romano was famously quoted as saying Romelu Lukaku is untouchable, and a few days later he was in the Chelsea blue. So journalists go on what they have at hand, and a lot of journalists are not able to indulge in speculation, maybe like I can. And like I said, I've seen reports that I've kind of linked to this. They may be related, they may not be related, but I have that luxury. While as a journalist, his reputation is on the line, and he is not able to risk making statements until he is, fully aware of all the facts. So I totally understand the position Matt Law is in, but again, the fact that two journalists from the same stream, same club, or focusing on the same club. One is predominantly talking about one investor, and the other one is talking about a different investor, without acknowledging the other, is a little bit of a weird one. So it's funny, it's banter, but at the end of the day, all we've got to do is wait for a few more days, and everything will be cleared for us.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. I think it sounds like to me we've got we're in the best possible hands. At the end of the day, this is a chance for us moving forward. You've got to think about the one thing that really struck me. I don't know whether or not anybody's ever heard this. Was Mark Goldbridge, and I don't agree with him with a lot of things because obviously he's a United fan. But he said it perfectly, which is that how would you feel being Newcastle owners right now with Amanda Staveley saying that they worked on 4 years to try and get Newcastle United, and only to find out that Roman Abramovich was going to put the club up for sale? I mean, that's a kick in the teeth for them, really, isn't it? So, just be careful what you wish for, But, the one thing I will say is that which hopefully will go Saudi Arabia. I'm hoping that that's going to be the case because I want what's best for the club. I've always wanted the best for the club since 1998 when I became a supporter. So, at the end of the day, hopefully we'll continue winning trophies.
Definitely. CFC Matty, did you say you are from the Football Terrace?
I was, yeah, I am. I'm also a moderator.
Do you have your own channel? Do you have your own platform?
Do you know what? The only I do have a Twitter page, but I don't really operate on the football side. Really, I do have a YouTube channel, but I usually do like explore, like random explores. I do paranormal explores as well. So yeah, but it is something I'm looking to get into.
Do me a favor. In the private chat, if you can link me your YouTube channel, I will promote it here in the chat and get people to have a look at your platform, and hopefully you can gain a couple of subscribers.
Oh, cheers, bro! Thanks very much.
No, it's my pleasure. Just cut and paste the link into the private chat, and I'll share it with the guys in the chat. Listen, we are here to support all Chelsea fans. I mean, we don't all talk about Chelsea. Some of us talk about paranormal activities. Some of us talk about politics. Some of us talk about movies, films. We're all Chelsea fans at the end of the day, and if we can help our fellow fan, let's do it. So stick the link in the chat, in the private chat, and I will put it on for everyone to look at. Nick, you were about to address the Matt Law situation. Nick Blue.
Yes, yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead, brother.
Big up to Matty. I've talked to you a lot on the Gems channel. You know that. About Matt Law. Me personally, I don't trust none of these journalists, but especially Matt Law. I think you've got a point when you say these Americans are giving him something to go with the American deal, trying to get the Americans to buy the club. He hasn't mentioned Saudi Arabia or nothing. He's strictly with the Americans for some reason. So it's got to be something dodgy. I don't trust Matt Law as far as I can throw him. And the other thing I wanted to say, just to remind you, Mo, about the Peter Benetti's memorial this Friday.
Please inform us of the details, Nick.
Yeah. Anyways, it's going to be at 2:15 at the bridge in the Sheden Upper Tier. It's free. His family wants as many fans as possible to attend, so they're giving us free tickets. I have mine already. I posted it on Twitter a long time, a few weeks ago, since I got the ticket. So if anyone wants to go, it's free. He's a great, legend of the 60s, 70s, one of our best goalkeepers of all time. So, I know Matt will know about him, Bobby and all that. I don't know if they're going, but what do you think, Max, about Peter Benetti's memorial? Max.
Hello, guys.
Max Byrne, are you there?
Yes, sorry. Sorry, I'm here. I was just trying to frantically find the thing. Yeah, Peter Benetti. Yeah. I've met the guy. When is it?
This Friday, the 2:15 p.m. It's in the Sheden Upper Tier, and it's free. You have to have your ticket in advance. So I have mine already.
Okay, I've got.
Is a ticket accessible from the Fifth Stand app? Can you make the purchase there, or do you have to go elsewhere?
The website. You just send a message. You can send them a message, on the website, and they will send you a ticket.
All right, fantastic, guys. Make sure you go and check that out.
He's a really nice guy, actually. I've met Peter Benetti.
Yeah, great top man, Max. Yeah. I don't know how many years you saw of him, but I saw most of my Chelsea life. It was Peter Benetti in goal.
Mm-hmm.
He was
the first goalkeeper when I started supporting Chelsea.
Yeah,
lads, do me a favor. People in the chat, do me a favor. I have put the link here for CFC Matty's channel. Go check it out. You don't have to subscribe. Go check it out. If you like the content, subscribe. If you don't, be nice and smash the like button. Go check out the content, and a fellow Chelsea fan. You can't do any harm by going and having a look and seeing if you can, or if you are interested in that content. So let's do it. And while you're doing that, click on the like button on the stream as well. I'd very much appreciate it. All right, I've got here with me Nesbert. Nesbert, can you hear me? Hello? Oh, I think, yo.
How are you?
Do you want me to come back? Are you busy?
Yeah, not that much.
All right.
Give me like
just
2-3 minutes.
I'll give you a couple of minutes. Take your time, my boy. Take your time.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. No worries. Let me hear from Easy Smokes. Is your audio clear now? Easy?
Yes. Perfect.
All right. Easy. I want to hear from a Liverpool fan. I mean, I can ask you about all this kind of stuff, but I really want to hear what a Liverpool fan has to say about the potential of Chelsea becoming, a superpower, even more of a superpower, because we are a superpower, kinda. So, what's your thoughts on this?
Definitely. If the deal does come through, I do believe that we'll become more powerful and maybe challenge Arsenal more for those league titles and win more Champions League, of course, win more FIFA World Cup, of course. But you must remember something, guys, that sometimes some things just don't work out, although we want it to work out in our favor. But we got to trust the process, not like Arsenal trust in the process, but I mean, like, keep the faith. And if we'll do once the Saudi Arabians thing, I do believe they will get in. Like, at any point, they got money to splash, enough money. So by Chelsea is like nothing for them, like pocket change. And I do believe the deal will be done if the sources are reliable. Because in fact, today with sport and soccer, we get so much of gossip, we don't know what to believe. But I do see Chelsea getting a new takeover, but I can't confirm it's going to be from the Saudi Arabians at this time.
Yep. Easy Smoke, I'm going to have to tell you, your mic is still not very clear. Yeah, no, it's crackling. I'm waiting for Nesbert to come back to get his points of view. Anybody else want to add anything on this topic?
Yeah. What's the high chance of Nick Candy even getting a look in? Because he hasn't really got much in the locker, has he, as far as money? So he's obviously going to require investments, and he's also going to require further money investments. What's the story behind that bid then?
Yeah, that's a big concern. That's a big concern because he is ambitious. He is a fan. He does want to do so much, and he's talked about a whole bunch of stuff. But how deep are his pockets, and how deep are his back? The pockets of his backers, and that is my only concern. I don't know if Max has an insight on this. Max, do you have any insight on Nick Candy's ability?
Yeah, well, he's only got his only net worth is 1.2 billion or something. So that's not a lot. So you'll have to go in with a consortium. I heard that Broughton guy who used to be at Liverpool, but the British Airways guy, he wants to form a consortium with him. But even he's not got the funds neither. So he's only, I think he's under $1 million. I mean, not under $1 million. Is it 560 million or something like that? So he's so they'll need some serious backers if they were to get the club, and I just cannot see it happening unless what's that other guy? There was this other guy whose family's worth.
The Ricketts family. It's the Ricketts family.
No,
it's not
English. There was another English guy, Rain Group, is it? Not Rain Group.
No, Rain is the bank.
The family. There's a family. I can't remember their names now. The son is not worth a lot, but the father's worth 12 billion, and he too is a Chelsea supporter.
Max, there's over 200 bidders right now, so there's a lot of people bidding. And I think the ones we're hearing about,
Ruben, that's it, Jamie Ruben. Thanks, Luke. Yeah. That's the one, the Rubens.
So
unless he goes into somebody like him,
you said he's worth 12 billion.
his father's worth 12 billion, so I think
Right.
he's going to inherit that money eventually.
One thing that I will say is that as much as we're hearing so much right now, Roman Abramovich would like to do it all in private. If you remember when Ken Bates left the club, it was all done in private. You didn't know about it until 2 weeks after he took office. So,
Correct.
so you've got to remember that as much as we're hearing all these great bids right now, it might not be the right person, or they're not going to. It's all going to be smoke and mirrors, and some of
I
them
would
just
not
want
be
clout.
surprised.
You know,
I
some
I
of
would
them
not
just
be
want clout.
surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
mention that in one of my videos actually. That is probably someone
I think
totally
The
unexpected.
the Turkish bidder, he was
He
all
just
over
talks
the
a lot.
timeline,
he
but
talks a lot.
there was nothing. Yeah.
So
So yeah, no, yeah.
You
Let
wanna-
me
I
let me
mean-
let me
Sorry.
try just 1 second. Let me hear from Nesbert again. Nesbert, I hope you're ready. You good? Tell me where you're from, and tell me what you think about the situation we're in.
Goes off, you have to look all the time.
Easy Smokes, I'm going to have to remove you. There's a lot of background audio from your end. Nesbert, take it away, brother. I can't hear you. Try again.
Okay, you can't hear me.
Yeah, you're good.
Can
You're
you-
good. You're good. You're good. Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I was saying, like, if I heard you properly, you are saying that, what's my take on the current situation, right?
Yeah, but first, let me know a little bit about you. Where you from? Where you talking to me from?
I'm a Zimbabwean, but I'm based in South Africa.
Zimbabwe.
I'm in Cape Town.
All right,
yes.
brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant,
sure.
fantastic. Well, welcome to the stream. Let me get your
Thank
take.
you
Let me
so
get your insight.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, can I get your insight?
Yes, okay. Let me say it. Okay. I think, can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you do me a favor? Can you just reduce the volume of the football match in the background? It's coming back as a. Yeah, that's it. Just
okay.
reduce that. All right.
Yes.
Take it away.
Yeah. Is that okay now?
That's better. Thank you.
Okay, sure. You know how crazy it is that I'm praying that my City can lose today, even though we know we're not gonna catch up with it. I'm watching with a Liverpool fan, a friend of mine here. So he's praying that City can lose. But anyway, shifting my focus to that, the current situation right now with our team is really stressing out. Like as somebody who is from Africa, with if you know the fan base of Chelsea in Africa is really strong, and African people, they do love Chelsea, I think, more than any other European clubs. And the love that we have for Chelsea has grown so much to a point that like there are some people who have even lost their lives because of Chelsea. And then when we come to the point of Roman Abramovich being sanctioned and the clubs not allowed to do their day-to-day normal business, it has impacted so much people here at this side. Like if I can say, there are some people now, it's now really hard to concentrate even at work, even at their day-to-day business, because they are wondering as to where the club is going and what will be the club's position in the coming few days. So what I can say is, in as much as we know that Chelsea is one big club to reckon with, we also need like an assurance that our club will still continue to exist and continue to fight for the trophies and will be in good hands, because that's what is mostly like giving us sleepless nights, to know who the next owner is going to be, and is he going to be somebody who is passionate about continuing with the legacy that Abramovich has built with the club. If you can look before 2003, when when Abramovic took Chelsea in charge, like became the owner of Chelsea, up to, let's say, the past few days, the leagues that he has built for the club, the leagues that he has built for the community around Stamford Bridge, the community in England, the leagues that he has built around the globe, mostly here in Africa, it's something that we cannot just, like, it's something that you can really appreciate. So that's our main worry, the position of the club. Like, we are just praying that our club can get into the safe hands to a new owner who's going to do what the supporters like, somebody who's going to listen to our demands. We know that we're not going to demand something that the club will find it difficult to do, but at least we just need somebody who can, like, for example, if I can give this example, remember about the Super League. When Chelsea wanted to enter the Super League, I saw the fans were at Stamford Bridge. They were singing, they were chanting about the situation. They expressed their feelings. They said they don't want Chelsea to join the Super League, and instantly I saw Petr Cech came out of the of the offices, came out of the ground. He came to the supporters. He met with the supporters. He addressed the supporters. He told them what the club is planning on doing next. And I can say that it shows that how much Abramovich was meant to Chelsea. How much of a father figure he was to the Chelsea family, to the Chelsea community. So I've been listening to you guys for the past few days, and I've been following on all updates regarding who the next Chelsea owner will be. And based on what you've been saying, I can say, I have two interested bidders that I have said to myself, if either one of them can take Chelsea as his club, maybe we can continue to build the leagues and the current with with collecting more trophies, accolades, like the Arab media group and the one Turkish guy, maybe not to also maybe to include Nick Candy. Nick Candy seems to be somebody who is so passionate about Chelsea. He's a fan of Chelsea, and judging from the history that he portrayed, he's someone who can really wants to take Chelsea to greater heights. He's someone who who want to die for the club to make sure that the club gets to where it's supposed to be. Chelsea deserve to always be competing in the top elite league. It's not a club that needs to be competing in the bottom table.
I want to interject this, bro. And you've said a lot. And I want to just clarify a couple of things for you. No one is disputing what Roman Abramovich has done for Chelsea Football Club. No one is disputing the achievements, the successes that he has brought, and the legacy that he has built.
Yeah, true.
What Roman is linked with and tied to outside of football, that's his business. That's not our business. And in respect to what he has done for us, no one is going to deny that. And anyone that disrespects that legacy is disrespecting Chelsea, because he built that for Chelsea. So that is one thing that we want to clarify. In respect to the future of the club, I can see Chelsea becoming and continuing to be a prosperous prosperous club, due to our infrastructure, our DNA, if I could put it in that way. Now, naturally, if we are not given the opportunity and we are not given an investor who is able to do that, things can go pear-shaped. But if Roman Abramovich does have a say, and like we believe he does have a say in respect to who is able to buy the club, I think the future will be secured, and it will be secured under the guidance of the person who brought us to this point, Roman Abramovich. So from that point, I am not very, very concerned, especially with the news that we've heard over the past few days. I think there is enough in the news to suggest that there is a positive outcome at the end of all of this. So that in respect to what you've said, and again, thank you for giving me that insight. I'll go to Matty and then I'll come back to you, Gabriel. Let me hear from Matty. I'll come back to Gabriel.
So the first thing you've got to remember about Nick Candy is that when you're coming across as a successful businessman and a billionaire, right, you do not have a quiet interview like he did on Sky Sports. That sounded to me as like a guilty politician trying to run away from a question. Now, to me, that doesn't sound confident for me to take over a football club. And not just that, he also said a very, very important phrase, which is called a lifetime loan, right? How long is that lifetime for? Because like any other loan, you've got to pay it back. So you've got to be careful what sort of deal we go into and how long is the lifetime for? Because there's always that saying of how long is a lifetime and how long has he got that's a lifetime? You don't know. So there's always that barrier, whereas the Saudi group don't actually have a loan or anything like that they have to worry about. And I would rather go with the Saudis on this one rather than Nick Candy, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, the win-win situation would be is as if he was a fan on the board rather than the investor.
Yeah, and the thing is, but the Saudi.
Sorry,
the good thing about...
one second, Max. 1 second, Max. People in the chat, if I give you the responsibility and the accountability of being moderators, and you start to abuse it, I will take that away from you, and then the next step will be to ban you from the channel. You all know better than to have racist, bigoted comments in my chat. I do not allow it. I do not condone it. I do not accept it from anyone. I don't care who you are or how long you've been part of this channel. If you become racist in the chat, I do not want to see you in my chat. Please avoid that kind of language in this stream, in the chat.
I won't tolerate it either. I won't tolerate it either, and I'm only a guest, so please, everybody, try and be respectful.
No, what I was saying as well is the good thing is that this owner, this potential owner, he's a supposed Chelsea supporter as well. You know, the Saudi guy. If he's a supporter, then hopefully he's gonna do what's best for Chelsea. And I think they said his children are Chelsea supporters as well. So that's what we need: somebody who supports the club, who gets the club.
My only gripe with that though is that has he got enough time for it to go through? Whereas, you know, if the American guys have already got that ball rolling, isn't that a worry for us as fans? That's my question.
Have they got the funds though? The latest I heard was that some of it Bowley's investors have now backed out. So
I'm hoping that's the case. Because I don't want the Bowleys in. I don't think it's a wise investment. But you've got to remember we've got different other investors. You've got to remember apparently there was either 200 or 300 interested parties. So one of them is going to be interested and one of them is going to be putting a bid. You don't know how far away those bids are. So, you know, hopefully, you know, the right owner will get it, the right person will get it. But my question is to anybody here is, have they got the time frame? Because that's what every single journalist is tweeting right now, is whether or not they've got the right time frame, whether they're linked to different organisations or whatever. And if there's going to be a slip up.
Yeah, it may not be the wise investment, but it's the wise investment. Sorry.
All right. Listen, guys, I want to bring in Gabriel. Max, your puns don't work on the stream for some reason. I don't know why. I know you're trying hard, but they're just not working. Gabriel, take it away, brother. Welcome.
It's the dad jokes, yeah? We've all got them.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. Listen.
Welcome back. Welcome, Gabriel. Yeah.
Sorry, it's the Arabic in me always begins with listen, yeah?
Yeah, me as well, wallah. I don't know why. Listen. Esma.
Esma, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
You know, going, again, without downgrading the conversation, but just going back to what happened a few minutes ago, I think part of the chat is fueled by something I think I've been consistent with. We're focusing too much on nationality of ownerships. At the end of the day, like what Couch said earlier, he's American, North American from Canada. He would run it very differently to Kroenke, or Kroenke, whatever his name is, however you pronounce it. So, you know, there are stereotypes about certain nationalities, and so let's not get sucked into that. Now, the recent consortium, they do look promising because they seem to be a well-organized and type of sort of sophisticated, slick operation. But what I've realized is, you know, certain nationalities are synonymous with something. So when you say Saudi, the PR is, oh, it's related to the government. Russian, it's Putin. If it comes to American, you don't link that with Biden. You don't link that with the government, do you? So that's something to bear in mind. For me, the ownership I want, the biggest gift any new owner can give us is a new stadium, because that will allow so many opportunities for more self-sufficiency. And in a way, again, I know a few streams ago, I couldn't quite explain what I wanted to say, but again, not Roman bashing. Part of our problem is that Roman was so generous that we've almost got into a bit of an issue around, you know, the significant debts, over-reliance on gifts rather than money in, money out. And let's try and be a more self-sufficient club. So that is ultimately what I want, as long as it's an owner that cares about the club, but cares about it not just in peeing money away, you know, willy-nilly, and actually runs it in a more balanced and professional manner. And like going back to the thing about Candy, I actually know, sorry, I don't know the Candy brothers, but I've heard about the Candy brothers. One of my brothers actually worked on one of the buildings he built in Knightsbridge, number 1 Knightsbridge, I think it was, or number 1 Hyde Park or something. So he's a well-known, he and his brother are a well-known construction firm. So I'm sure, even though his personal wealth is, ironically, we're talking about, oh, he's a peasant because he's only worth 1 billion. Do you know what I mean? Come on, man. These guys have got access to tens, if not hundreds of billions if they want it. Similarly with Alkhereiji, he's not going to be spending 3 of his billion. He's going to be getting it from here, there, you know, his circle of connections. So it seems like, going back to Alkhereiji, seems like an intelligent guy, well-educated. He spent much of his formative education in the UK, hence why he probably took a love to Chelsea. So anyway, yeah, I'm not going to delay. I'm going to leave in a sec. But the long and short of it is, let's hope by the end of the week, Friday, you know, we've got a bit more of clarity as to where we go. And let's hope that we get the best owner for us. And as I said earlier, new stadium, someone who cares, and we'll take it from there. Goodbye.
Yeah, definitely.
One thing
Thank you, Gabriel. Look, in regards to what's going on in the chat, both of you need to understand, and you know who I'm talking about, both of you need to understand this. Whatever is happening geopolitically has nothing to do with us as Chelsea fans. We all have history. We all have, allegiances to other things outside of football. Now, we can't all agree on a Turkish buyer, a Saudi buyer, an American buyer. We can't all agree on these issues based on nationality. What Gabriel said is spot on. We need to look at what their mission statement is, what they want to do for the club, and what access they have in respect to funds. Now, if a particular buyer comes from a nation that has done harm by your nation, that's not on him, and it's not on Chelsea Football Club. We need to get away from this, and I said this on my last stream. You know, what the government is doing with Roman Abramovich, they've opened up a can of worms that I'm not sure they can close, because this is gonna have a ripple effects in many different parts of government, of sports, of society as a whole. Look, don't let things divide us. All right, we all stand together under the flag of Chelsea Football Club, under that blue flag. That's where we all stand. Everything else about us that is not related to Chelsea Football Club, that's got nothing to do with this conversation. So please, let's just be respectful to each other. We're all brothers. We're all here as the family of Chelsea Football Club. The wider family, the international family, because I know every one of you here is probably from a different country. So, respect yourselves, respect the club. Let's respect the chat and the panel. I'm going to give everyone on the panel. I'll let you.
Sorry,
go
for
on.
it. Well, the only thing.
No, I was just going to say I will give everyone a couple of minutes to give me their final remarks before I end the stream. So you can kick us off. Take it away, mate.
There you go. Here's a light-hearted thing to end the stream with. The only thing that I admire about Nick Candy is his wife Holly Valance. That's it. That's the only thing I admire.
And her song and her kiss rendition of the Turkish song. That was a fantastic song.
She was my poster on my wall. She was my poster on my wall when I was a teenager.
Yours and many others. Believe me.
Yeah. But thanks for having me on, and I hope to return again in the future. And
Matty,
thank you,
Matty. Reach out to me on Twitter. I'll add you to our group, and you can connect with us for future streams, and hopefully we'll have you back on.
Cheers, bro. Have a good day, guys.
Take care.
See you.
Cheers.
Have a good one. Take care. Cheers, mate. Bye bye. All right, let me go to Nesbert. Nesbert, give me your final thoughts on where we are. You got 60 seconds. Take it away. You're on mute, Nesbert. Let me unmute you 1 second. All right, start again. Go ahead. Go.
Okay, cool. All I can say is we are so privileged to be called Chelsea fans, or to be part of the Blue family. Irregardless of our nationalities, races, or cultural values, one thing that binds us is that we fall under the blue flag, and we only want the best for our club. Our concerns, yes, we can air them out, we can table them out, but at the end of the day, we need what's best for the club. We are a club that is used to a culture of winning, of having something in the cabinet at the end of each season, regardless of our performance, or regardless of how small a trophy can be. But we are now accustomed to that. So we just want to carry on with that same spirit, with that same culture, So it's my plea to all Chelsea fans around the world. We have to come united, we have to come together, wishing our club the best, and hoping that whoever is in the position of deciding our next owner is doing it with the best interest of the Chelsea family at heart. That's all I can say. And I can say I'm enjoying the channel. Thank you for accepting me, guys. And I really appreciate your kindness. It was a lovely moment having you around.
It's our pleasure. Thank you for coming on. We are happy to have met you this evening, and we thank you for taking your time to come on the channel. Have a great evening. Thank you very much.
Take care, man.
You
Take care,
too.
brother.
Thank you. Sure.
Thank you.
All
Peace. Right. Take care. All right, let me go to Tyrone. Tyrone, give me your closing remarks.
Yeah, I barely said anything, but it was good listening to what everybody else was saying. At the end of the day, I just hope that the club that I have such great love for, can stay in the area that they are and improve on that to competing for titles and get back to the ways of winning titles. But I mean, it's gonna be a lot of things that'll be happening by Friday, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes and the updates I will be receiving. Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure, coming back on. I haven't been on the channel in a while, so thanks for that. And hopefully, we get some of Ruud here, and I think that's pretty likely now. So thanks for having me again.
My pleasure. My pleasure, Tyrone. Have a great evening, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon. All right, let me move to Nick Blue. Nick Blue, final thoughts.
Yes, Mo. Yeah, I've been hearing a very good stream tonight. Very good comments from everyone, really. And the final thoughts with me is Roman Abramovich. I will never forget that man, what he's done for this club, because I come from the 1967. I remember going to Chelsea when I was 10 years old, and we've come a long, long way since then, thanks to this great man and individual, a true Chelsea legend and fan. We have to, once everything's dusted down, he needs a statue alongside Peter Oscar outside the West End. That's my main thoughts. And I'll be very, hopefully by Friday we're going to have our new owners. Hopefully it's this Saudi Arabia group, because what I hear of them, they want, they're planning good things. What we hear, we don't know for sure, but I think they're the right ones. Even I was with Nick Candy before, but I think these Saudi Arabia people will make us even better. So that's what I think.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on the sentiment for Roman Abramovich, but I can't see it happening for a few years. But I wouldn't put it past it to happen eventually. He does deserve recognition for what he has done for the club. So hopefully something suitable will be arranged for him in the near future, I hope.
Yes.
Nick Blue, always a pleasure to have you on, mate. I look forward to seeing you again in the near future as well.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers, Nick. Take care, brother. All right, cheers. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'm not sure if Couch Critic is back. Is he back?
Yeah.
When did he come back? You're supposed to tell me when you come back, innit? So I know you're back, innit?
You know, gangsters move in silence.
I mean, how can I pose a question to you if I don't even know you're here, man? I mean, he's just taking the liberties now.
That's what I can answer it, man. Just gotta pose it, man. Gangsters move in silence.
Couch, brother. We have been in a troublesome. We've had a troublesome week. It looks like the fog is starting to dissipate, and we are starting to see the outline of the future, the potential future. In your closing remarks, I'd like to know what you anticipate, what you expect to see in by the end of the week.
That's a tough question. I don't know.
I know. Listen, you've been gone for a minute, so I thought I'll give you a tough one, innit? So.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to contemplate. Like, what do I expect to see happen by the end of the week? I would expect a bid to be accepted at some point, and where that comes from, where the origin is it's anyone's guess right now. I'm not confident enough to say that it's going to be the Saudi bid. I'm not confident enough to say it's going to be Bowley or what's this British guy, Nick Candy. I'm not confident enough to put my money behind any of these guys. It could be somebody that we'd never heard of before, but what I do trust is if Roman's involved in the sale of this club, like we are all made to believe this is the case, he's going to have the best interest of the club at heart. And we're going to have somebody that is willing to take the club further than where Roman took it. So there's reason to be optimistic about this whole thing. I mean, yes, we're losing a great ambassador for this club, a guy that has built it from the ground up and whatnot. But at the same time, you know, if the new ownership comes in and takes what he's done, this gift that he's given them, like relieving them of the debt, and basically built this franchise, you know, from the ground up. And all you got to do is build a stadium, and then, you know, keep on with the. Okay, I'm gonna get you one. Just give me a second, okay? So yeah, if he could just keep on with that, build the stadium, and then you know, and then just keep with the process of just making this squad competitive year after year, then we're laughing, you know. And like the first step, and the only promises I want to hear is, I'm building a stadium, I'm redeveloping Stamford Bridge, I'm building the stadium, and I'm maintaining, you know, the current you know, the current clubs, I guess the current systems at the clubs right now. So the youth systems, you know, the women's game, which is growing immensely as we speak, and of course, you know, this is standard. Those are the only things that I got. Okay, guys, I got to get this guy put in place.
No worries. We will talk
again.
We will talk again. Probably tomorrow or the day after. We will talk again. Have a good night. Couch. No, cheers, brother. Bye. All right. Couch is also a YouTuber. So I don't see him having these problems when he's doing it on his channel, but when he comes from the Blue Lounge, you know, his kid, and I see what he's doing. Max Burton, big up to you, my brother. Interesting week coming ahead of us. What's your expectations, mate?
Yeah, so by Friday we'll know all the potential bidders, and hopefully, I'm not sure whether we'll have the answer by Friday of which one is the preferred winner, as it is. But whether you're Team Saudi, Team America, Team Candy, or Team whatever, what I want for Chelsea is, you know, Roman Abramovich has worked hard for us to get to where we are at this stage, and we just need somebody who's going to carry that baton on. We need to push on from here. Because, yeah, so the fact that I think they said we've got 10 potential bidders out there. Now, some we know of, some we don't know of. But, yeah, so a good investment for the club, you know. And I like, from what the ones I know of, you know, as I said before, the Saudis, they to me have the best proposal on the table, you know. And I mentioned this before, where I said we need to be a self-sustaining club. So if they're going to keep getting us that 60,000 state-of-the-art stadium that we need, and they've built a stadium before, actually. They've built us in, I can't remember the name of the club that they've got, but they've got a state-of-the-art stadium. Yeah. So
I've seen the stadium. It's pretty nice. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
I've seen the stadium. It's quite a nice stadium. So that if we can get that 60 to 65,000, and it's not only the fact that we're going to have 60,000, but we're going to have a lot more corporate suites as well, and that's where the big money is, in the corporate suites. So Chelsea is the only football club in the heart of London, and you're always going to attract the right sort of people there to come to the club, and that's a great corporate venue as well. So don't underestimate that sort of revenue coming in from the corporate side as well. If we can get that stadium right, if we can get the sponsorship right, you know, if this the media group, they're used to getting sponsored, aren't they? They're a media group, they're used to getting sponsored, They're used to knowing how to get sponsors into the club. So that's another source of revenue that we can exploit, because we are behind the likes of Manchester United, Man City, in that, you know, because we apparently, I read a report last year or the year before that they said our growth for sponsorship isn't great. I think ours is the second lowest out of the top 6 clubs. So there is room for improvement in that area as well. So if we can get those bits right, you know, and we are then a self-sustaining football club, and we can push on without the reliance of money.
Yeah, I can add to that. we will no longer be sponsored by 3.
Yeah.
We will be
that's
sponsored.
fair.
We will be sponsored by some multi-billion-dollar oil companies, import-export companies, telecommunication companies, media companies, rather than a telephone service provider who can't give you 2 bars at Stamford Bridge to make a phone call or to stream or to do nothing. Yeah, so
Exactly.
3, I couldn't care less about you now.
Yeah,
And I don't want to see them anywhere near Chelsea Football Club. Them and
Exactly.
Hyundai.
And we want someone like BMW or Mercedes rather than Hyundai.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah. And listen. If we are going to be owned by Saudis, then as a market share, as a luxury vehicle car manufacturer, Mercedes, BMW, they would be very happy to be linked with a club that is owned by possibly one of the most prominent countries to buy their most prestigious models of their vehicles. All you have to do is go to the Middle East and have a look at the cars that are being driven out there. They don't buy basic models. In Saudi Arabia and in the Middle East, we don't buy basic models. We buy the top of the range vehicles. So, Mercedes, BMW, as we say, ahlan wa sahlan. You are welcome to sponsor Chelsea Football Club. So let's just keep the sponsors coming in and forget a Hyundai and forget this 3G whatever it is. So Max Burton,
and we've got one more thing, naming rights as well.
Yeah,
naming rights on the stadium. So there's another source of revenue that we can exploit. So there's plenty of opportunities there. So yeah,
there's a lot. There's a ton, and I can't wait. And like I said, whichever way this goes, I'm seeing positive things for Chelsea Football Club. But yeah,
the last thing I want to say on all of this as well is hopefully we'll have the last laugh, because there's many people saying that Chelsea are finished and everything else. So what would be ironic is that we lose a billionaire and we gain a trillionaire.
Yeah, I want to see the same effort and the same commitment put in by Arsenal and Tottenham fans in making videos about that as they did about this. So, and you all know what I mean. You've all seen the videos. So let's see them make their videos again. Their satire videos,
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for having me again. Great stream. Yeah.
Big up, Max. I'll see you. I mean, I've got a couple of streams lined up this week, so I'll see you again this week. Hopefully, the big day on Friday. So we'll see what happens. I might do an all night stream on Friday just to see what happens. All right, brother. Take care. Have a good night.
Take care.
See you later. Bye-bye, Max. Take care. Okay, people. So a trillionaire, apparently. I'm seeing 1.9. I'm seeing 1.3 trillion. I mean, it don't really make that much difference, does it? 0.9, 0.3. But guys, end of the day, why is my camera out of focus? End of the day, whatever happens, stay positive. And don't let this problem divide us. Don't let this issue divide the fan base. Let this issue strengthen us, because we're Chelsea. This doesn't break us. This makes us stronger. I don't want to see people starting to troll and to hate each other because of who they want to see come in, who they don't want to see come in. End of the day, whoever is going to come in to buy Chelsea Football Club, we're going to get behind them. We're going to support them. We're not the ones who pick who comes in. We don't have that luxury. Whoever comes in with the accountability or under the accountability of the British government, because they are the ones handling the sale. So if they're fine with it, if they're cool with it, then we're just going to have to live with it and get on with it. We don't have to be fine with it and cool with it in respect to the history or the actions that these individuals have made outside of football. but we do need to appreciate what they are doing within football. You've all heard me speak about Roman Abramovich. You've all heard my opinion about Roman Abramovich. But that is only in relations to Chelsea Football Club. What he has done for my club. And I will always love him for doing that and for that. But there are a lot of things that I disagree with Roman Abramovich on. A lot. But when it comes to Chelsea Football Club, I got no issues with him. And that will be the same for whoever comes in to buy Chelsea Football Club. Because if they are given the green light to make this transaction, then that's not on us. We are not accountable for that. We are not responsible for that. So let's hope whoever comes in is able to invest and drive the club forward and continue to bring the success that we are used to at Chelsea. I will be making another stream, maybe a video tomorrow. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I think I'll tell you this. I will be doing a watch along for the Champions League fixture. I will be doing that, and it'll be a different format to what I normally do. So if I don't see you tomorrow, I will definitely see you on Wednesday night. People, have a great evening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking part and watching and chatting to us in the stream. Good night, people. Peace.